The sentiment around Diablo Immortal right now is currently split. We have two groups of people. Actually, we have multiple groups of people, but it's split down the center. You have your new players, your free-to-play players, your players that are more casual players. They are on one side feeling a certain way. And then you have your hardcore grinders, which could be some free-to-play players as well. You have your mid-spenders, you have your whales that are feeling another way about the game. Now, everything that I'm about to talk to you guys about today is just, it doesn't mean that one size fits all. When I'm talking about massive grinders, whales, mid-spenders, that doesn't mean I'm speaking for every single whale, mid-spender, or person that is a massive grinder. When I talk about all the casual players, I'm not talking or speaking for all of those players. I'm just speaking in general from what I'm seeing across Reddit, across my Discord, in the comments section regarding, as I said, the sentiment around Diablo Immortal. We have had a lot of things change inside of the game as of late, and a lot of it, when you look at it in one sense, is a lot of new content, new things that we can do inside of the game to get new stuff inside of the game. We had a Phantom Market come through, which is obviously just something that comes through for your cosmetics, Conquer returns. We have this one right here, another way to get a bunch of stuff, tasks. These are just simple events going on inside of the game. These aren't the game-changing items inside of the game. Some of the game-changing things, or game-changing things, are related to how you strengthen your character in the game, or how you get yourself more gear inside of the game, how the Rune System now works inside of the game, which is something completely new to Diablo Immortal as well. And I just want to kind of voice how I feel about these things compared to what we're hearing in the community. A lot of stuff I agree with. I understand the community frustration. We have two new modes. We have the Gate of Erebon and we have the Abyssal Verge. Here you can get a lot of runes that drop, and then you can go do some rune smithing to try and add runes to your gear to increase the power of your gear. And when we go to the market, you'll notice that there's many different types of runes as well. When we come over here and look at the rune system, you have the lesser valuable ones, the ones that have less power and do much less for you up top. And as you scroll down, they get stronger and stronger, and their values will be higher and higher. Check that out, 19,000 platinum for one rune. Now, as we go, when we try to socket these runes into our gear, we get buffs from those runes. So if we take a look over here at the strongest rune right now inside of the game, more runes will always be coming. Your base attributes are increased by 5%, and your damage is increased by 2% to enemies below 30% life. Whether you like the stats of the runes or not, they are buffing how your gear works. Now, if you don't have those big drops, if you're getting runes that are just less desirable, you're getting something like this. Your base attributes of equipment is increased by 3%, stun resistance by 2. We're not talking about massive changes to your gear, but when you take a look at all the gear that you have 8 different pieces that could wear different runes. And over time, those benefits and those buffs are going to increase. Also, I have not sold any of my runes. I just have them all. I play the game a lot. I reach the peak for, if you take a look right now, I'm at peak for my battle pass. Oh, that's the wrong screen I want to go to. I want to go right to my codex. Come on now. That's not where I want to go. Come on, what is going on? There we go. Go to my codex. You'll notice that we are capped. We can't go any higher for the week. This is one thing that I do not like. I reached this cap, I believe it was on Thursday. Monday, it means I played the game for 4 days. And after 4 days of playing, I reached my battle point cap, and it doesn't allow me to earn any more battle points to progress my battle pass. But more importantly, when you progress your battle pass, you get big XP bumps, which helps you upgrade your character level as well. This cap being here is really a pain because it demotivates me from wanting to play more. I'm getting less value for my time once this cap is reached, and it makes me say, you know what? I could slow down for the week. We'll turn in all of our rewards on Monday. As you can see, I save all this for Monday, and then we'll go ahead and start again and get more 4-hour time inside of the game. I would love to see this cap go away. I don't like that it's here, and I think that it really does hinder players from wanting to play at a certain point in time. That's just one thing. But if we take a look, the runes that I have, back to that conversation, I don't have any of the bright blue runes. There's going to be better runes, and they're going to be coming out at, I don't know the pace. It wasn't said, but there's going to be new runes coming all the time. New things you could slot inside of your gear all the time to make it stronger. In addition to new gear coming all the time, in addition to new gems coming all the time, there's always going to be things to grind for. And it can become overwhelming to the point where I look at it as, when I'm doing my runes and when I'm trying to socket a rune or something, I'm going to just see which ones are the best ones that I could put in there. And those are the ones that I'm going to throw in. I'm not going to go rune hunting to the point that I'm getting stressed about not being able to get the better runes and that they're not dropping, which is one of the complaints by the community, that when running either one of these new game modes, they're not getting the runes that they're trying to get. The drop rate is very bad. Now, some people will say, if the drop rate's bad and bad for everyone, we're all in an even playing field, so what's the big deal? And you have others who say, I've grinded through 50 rounds of this and gotten no new runes. What's going on? Why am I putting my time into this and not getting rewarded for it? Two very good points. One, at least it's even for everyone. At least we're all suffering through the poor rune drop. On the other side of things, you need to be rewarded for the game modes that you're playing inside of the game, or else they're not worth playing, unless if you're having a great time playing it. But the rewards really do enhance that, especially in a dungeon crawler action RPG. It's all about getting better gear and upgrading our gear and getting our character stronger and stronger over time. That is literally why we play the game. So we have to choose the game modes which can best do that for us. And if the runes are not dropping over here, then it's probably not one of the best places to do that. So for me, would I like to see drop rates increased? Sure. I think that they should be, there's a fair spot where rune drops need to sit. A place where it's even for all, but if you put in some decent grind, you're going to be rewarded with some good runes. Let's stop talking about runes. We could talk about the new type of gear that you could get, how it can give you some extra bonuses right here. Where's my gear? I get this kind of gear all the time, and it is never better gear than what I'm currently wearing. So right here, the range of vortex is increased. It gets to the point where I can only run so many of the mode that you need to get through to get these, that I'd rather just open world farm and try and find some gear, because then I'll find something like this. But look at it, it's missing the magic properties. As you can see, our magic properties right here are quite nice, but the combat rating is low, but I really do love the magic properties. This is a nice piece of gear. Even though this is a really nice piece as well, skill damage is increased. How about this one? Critical hit chance is increased. This is probably a better piece of gear, but it doesn't have the magic elements that are going to help me with my rolling surf, causing primary attacks to launch water blades at enemies dealing this damage. It's a trade-off. Do I switch and lose those magic properties to get a new piece of gear, which I can then roll to get the right bonuses that I want? And I'm talking, does it show it down here? It's not showing it down there. I'm talking about cursed properties, so I can get all of the same cursed properties. Or I could stick with that magic property and use that. I guess they're just decisions that you have to make. Let's talk about gems though, because the market has been insane, and I expected the market to get a lot better when the server merges happened. But really, the markets are not great. When we go to legendary gems and you take a look at some of these things, well, first of all, even on like regular gems, like 2 stars, values are low. So values are low is good in one way, but it's also bad in another way. Why is it good? If you're someone sitting with a ton of platinum, well, you could get a lot of gems and really make out right there. Look at this. Blood-soaked jades for 48k for a 2-star. Forever, you couldn't get them less than 65k or 64k, and you couldn't even get them because there weren't enough. So the issue of the market being empty has been solved. The market is no longer empty. There's a lot of materials and a lot of items for us to purchase here. But the values are low. So what does that mean? When I go to the shop and when I go buy my legendary crests, right? Because you go to the shop, you buy your legendary crests, about 25 bucks, and you run them and you get yourself 10 gems. You want to then sell the ones that you don't want in the market to get platinum, but you don't get a lot of platinum for them. What that's doing is it's directly negating value from the legendary crests. And it's putting more value on just straight up buying platinum. Because if I could buy platinum, and this is something that I recently did, I had a whole bunch of orbs, and there were a bunch of gems in the market that I wanted to grab. So I had the orbs, I bought platinum, because if I were to buy crests and try and sell what the crest gave me, I would get less value. So right now inside of the game, you have platinum being valued higher, and you're getting a better deal if you buy the orbs to buy the platinum. Now this goes back and forth. It also takes out the random element of you potentially pulling something amazing. Pulling your 5-star Blood-Soaked Jade. Potentially. I've never done it. But that gotcha mechanic is removed. Now there is a thing that comes into the shop every week. It's on Saturday, and I want to find it. It was literally just promoted to me, and it's a way for you to upgrade your stuff weekly. Now, where the heck is it? I really want to find it to share it with you guys. This is it right here. Transmuters Supplies. I bought this last week, and when you take a look at this, the value is very good. Here's why. 6 legendary crests. Great. They're bound. You're basically getting gem power with a chance of getting something you can use. 8 telluric pearls. This is great because those 8 telluric pearls, 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. 5 weeks, and you're able to get yourself a legendary gem that you can then use to upgrade a piece of gear. Or upgrade a gem, I should say. But the value of this is going down now because as the values of those gems go down in the shop, the value of these packs offering us this, which used to be a fantastic value, it actually depletes itself. So I'm sitting here 3 weeks ago and I was saying, oh, 13 bucks, I could spend that weekly, every Saturday. I can get myself 8 telluric pearls every week, and then in 5 weeks, I could craft myself a 2-star gem, and I could use that gem to further upgrade my Blood-Soaked Jade, my Seething Bile, to get my Bottled Hope up to rank 5, which I'm trying to do. So it makes you think, where is the value there? Is this worth $12.99 now? Or because of the changes to the market and how undervalued things are, this 2-star gem that we'd be crafting, which used to have a value because, okay, let's say we buy the Blood-Soaked Jade, which was 64k platinum. Cool. But now you can get it for 48 or 45 or even 40 when you find a good one in the market. It devalues the pack inside of the game. Do I still think this is a good value? Yes. And I think it's a decent grind for you to do if you're just trying to get those 2 stars so that you could upgrade your gems. So when we take a look here at my gems, I just picked up this Bottled Hope and I just picked up this Gloom. My goal is to get my Bottled Hope to 5 and to get the Gloom to 5, but also to get it up to 4 stars. Let me go over to the jeweler really quickly so we can get a better peek at what I'm talking about here. And I want to talk about how I got those values. Oh, there we go. My Bottled Hope, to do the upgrade, I need 1, which I'm going to throw in my 4-star. It's going to bump this from 3 to 4 stars. And I need 2 3-star Bottled Hopes. I got 1. So to make another one, I need 2 more rank 1 Bottled Hopes that I can then put 150 gem power into so we can get that upgraded. Now, for my Gloom, I just need to throw 1 Gloom in. I got 2 of them. I want to throw in the 4-star and then 100 gem power. That'll get this to a rank 4. It'll change it to a 4-star. I'm sorry, I was covering it up right there. It'll take it to a rank 4 and then take it to be a 4-star gem as well. So that's where I'm trying to get the value on both the Bottled Hope, and the Gloom. Now, in the shop the other day, I was able to pick up the Gloom, and there was another gem that I picked up. Which one was it? I got it for 20,000. This is it right here. My Void Spark. I picked up this 2-star Void Spark. There were 21 people who had hearted this gem. I got it for 20,000 platinum. That is insanely underpriced. Insanely, though. I can't believe I actually got the gem. Was not expecting to do that. So this is going to be used to further feed my current gem, which, as you can see, it is a 3-star, rank 4. So in getting this to rank 5, I'm going to want to put a 4-star into it. So I'm going to be hunting for a 4-star on the market as well, so I can get its star up as I get its rank up. But the value, 20,000 platinum for this, is absolutely unheard of. So I find myself just going to the market every morning and just taking a look at my gems that I'm looking at. So any insane values here? No. I mean, good value, yes, but insane? No. See, this is where it normally sits. I got it for 20K. Crazy. Gloom, any insane? Good value, under 40K. Bottled Hope, this is really where I need to live right now. I need to get 2 Bottled Hopes. One of them I'm going to get from the Telluric Pearls, and I'm going to craft it. And one of them I'm going to buy. Then I just need to get the gem power, 150, to rank it up. Seeping Bile? Nah, okay. And the Starfire, which is the gem that I don't yet have that I plan to potentially work on. It's lower on my priority list. So the market's been a problem. It definitely hurts the whole game when values are that low. It just devalues legendary crests and running rifts. Look at that guy floating on air as he moves on through. Now, also, I wanted to talk about the wings and our whales, our big spenders, being able to put 16 gems inside of wings to boost their resonance. Another resonance jump, taking us over 10,000 res. I'm currently under 3, working on getting up there, and I will be getting there very soon. We just got to get the gem power to do it. But when you think about people, and this is important, what the game can continuously do for years to come is continuously raise the ceiling of gem resonance, making it 10,000, 12,000, 15,000, 20,000. How do you get higher gem resonance? You buy legendary crests, or you buy platinum to buy legendary gems. It's money infusion into the game. And myself as a low spender, free-to-play players, and the game itself relies on whales, massive spenders, to support the game financially in that way, by having them just say, oh, the resonance just jumped an extra 2,000 res. I'm gonna go spend to get there so I could be on top quicker than everyone else, and I can then dominate in PvP. Because the more resonance you have, the stronger you are in PvP. You see the correlation here. But the question that I have is, how is this on a personal level for these players, for these big spenders? There's gotta be a point where they're like, screw this, I'm not spending anymore. I've spent 50,000, 100,000 on the game, and now the resonance just went up again, and I gotta spend another $20,000 to get there. There's a point, and I'm not sure where that is, it depends on each person, I guess, where they're like, I can't do this anymore. I've already overspent on the game. I don't want to spend any more and just go further in debt into a game where I have virtual assets that have no value besides being in the game. Now, let's be honest. It's fun. Gaining resonance, getting your gems set, building up your gear and how everything works inside of the game for you. It's very fun. It's a cool mechanic and it's addicting to play. So I understand that, but it's at a heavy expense to players. Gem resonance is something that free to play and low spenders, we think about it, but it's not our number one priority because it can't be, because I'm not dropping 50K on the game. Plus. Now the funny thing is, Mid spenders are usually people around the 3K resonance mark. That's when people say, all right, that's a mid spender, when they get to around 3K. I'm just about there. I mean, I have all these gems to work with. It's just, it's a bad time to do it because of the state of the market. But I've probably spent, and I didn't keep track, what I buy myself every month. Let me show you in the shop. With my money in the shop, I will go ahead and buy 3 things monthly. They are all the services. I will buy the Battle Pass, that's $5. I'll buy the Boon of Plenty, that's $10. And I will buy Prodigy's Path whenever I can. I think that's a $20 pack, I don't remember. So, the Prodigy's Path is also not a monthly thing. So let's average it out to being $10 a month, because it's actually less than that. There's only been 5 of them since the start of the game. So let's say another $5 a month. So I'm really only spending $20, $25 a month on things inside of the game. When I do spend and buy featured deals, crests, these are because the community is donating to me so that I could build out my build, put videos together of opening or running legendary gems through legendary crests. And there's been a lot. So when I think about how much I've spent to get my account to this point, it's probably got to be $1,500. And when you think about that on a mobile game, a lot of people are gonna be like, what? That's insane. You spend $1,500 in the game? But when you look at the scope of this game, there are people that have spent $200,000 on one account inside of this game. Not a lot of people, but some. So my $1,500 suddenly looks like a infantile amount of money, a pathetic amount of money to spend on the account. It all is just in perspective. You got to keep in mind what your value and what your money is worth to you, and how much you could potentially spend in the game. If I spent this much money in a game like Brawl Stars, man, I'm a big spender inside of that game. But in Diablo Immortal, I'm a low spender. It's just how you see it and what the game allows you to do. Looking at a few other things that I don't love, the charm system is still a mechanic that is wonky and a pain in the butt to do. It has been since day one. It's all about RNG, and it is something that probably won't ever change. I do like working on it and stuff, but it's not the best in the world. The pets inside of the game, the familiars, still confusing as heck for many, many people. Most people that are not big time invested in the game, most people that are not like hardcore Diablo Immortal players will not understand how the pet system works inside of the game. They just won't be able to work it the way that it's intended because it's confusing. I would advise, if I were on an advisory team, I would advise that Blizzard and NetEase make that an easier mechanic, something that's a little bit more understandable. I mean, they went and changed the whole Paragon system to make it easier, more simplistic, right? Why not do that with the pet system? Just make it a little bit easier, a little bit more straightforward. The Paragon system in the past wasn't confusing, maybe a little bit overwhelming for people, but not really that confusing. It was encumbering for the development process of the game. So I would advise try and make the pets a little bit more easy, because now Blizzard introduces a new pet, right? Like what is the newest familiar we got? We got this guy right here, right? The Bramble Stalker. No one's saying, like, once you get a decent pet, you get that one that has that makes you invincible for, or have immunity for a little bit in PvP. Once you get that, you're done. You don't care about the other pet. You don't care about any. You get that on your pet, and that's GG. You won. Now you could PvP and have an advantage. So it would be really great if this whole system were a little less wonky. I felt if Blizzard were to bring in 4 new pets in an incoming update, yeah, it's cool because you can get something different looking to run around with you and stuff, but it's not going to be like, oh man, I need to go get that new pet, because it's just a mechanic that's, 1, confusing, and 2, once you get what you need, you're set and you could be good from there. So I want to summarize how I feel about everything altogether, because I kind of dug in a little bit on some of the negative stuff, but overall, oh, look at this. Didn't even know that. I didn't even do this. Check that out. We're gonna deliver those items right there. Well, that was nice. Oh, look at these wings right here. Nice wings. Cassidy? Wait, how do I forget, how do I do this? There we go. I forget what button I have to push. There we go. Let's take a look at the res here on Cassidy. Check this out. Level 30 gear across the board. Howler's Call, rank 8, 5 star. Bottled Hope, rank 8, 5 star. 9 5 star. Frozen Heart, 9 5 star. Pain Clasp. Ooh, look at this. The Phoenix, 8. And the BSJ, 8. So some serious stuff right here. The Resonance, 5,769. So not even 6K res here. Some good looking wings on this character. They got a nice little feature in the channel here today. Overall, I think that it's great that Blizzard is bringing new mechanics to the game, new game modes to the game. I honestly don't see any other mobile games bringing these kinds of updates at this frequency to the game. We have a new event where World of Warcraft on July 4th is coming to Diablo Immortal in some form that we can interact with. We can get some cosmetics from it. It's going to be really cool. That stuff is really freaking cool. But there are mechanics inside of the game now that are not properly functioning and that people are frustrated about. Another thing that I would say is, if the game is being heavily supported by our whale players, players that are big spenders, why hasn't there been a new mode of Battlegrounds made? Another map, something different. There's literally one Battlegrounds map that's been the same since day one. 2 years now. I bet you our big spenders, ones that are quitting and leaving the game because I'm being told that this is happening. Friends are leaving because they don't want to have to buy the more Resonance. I bet if we create a new map for them in Battlegrounds that is dependent on Resonance, we need to give these players something to make them want to play. Players that are spending that amount of money inside of the game but haven't gotten something that can give them, that they could play, that their benefit assists them in. Like, we have all these new game modes, right? We have all these different events. Fractured Plane, Resonance means nothing. Conqueror, Resonance doesn't mean much. You have Wild Brawl, that doesn't mean much for Resonance either. There's small buffs, but not much at all. All of the different PvP modes that are coming to the game are friendly for all players, which is actually great for the overall player base. But it makes you say, well, then why do you need to worry about Resonance if all these game modes are coming out that don't matter with Resonance? So that spend that we're talking about, that's keeping the game profitable, is being put into one game mode, which is Battlegrounds, for our heavy spenders, our whales. I think it would be a good idea to give back to the whales community, even if it's a much smaller group of people, which it is, but to keep them happy and interacting with the game. Give another Battlegrounds map or another Battlegrounds mode where it's not only that same map they've always played, but something that would be exciting for them to dive back into, and that their Resonance will still play a key role in. They will have that advantage. Now, most other players, low spenders, some mid spenders, free-to-play players, we're all not going to care about that as much because we're going to go in there and get crushed, unless the matchmaking works properly. But it'll be good for the people that are really putting a good amount of money supporting the game inside of the game. I think it's a positive thing. Wow, we rambled on for a lot about how we're feeling about stuff. Overall, I think the game is still great. It's still my go-to game that I play every single day and spend hours inside of daily. It's my favorite game. But like any other game, it has things that can be fixed, some bugs that can be worked out. Overall, the server merge has been good, but there's definitely been some clunks along the way, which is something you have to expect when you're bringing together 6 to 8 different servers of players, some being immortals, some losing that immortalness. Overall, good, but there is a lot of complaint in the community, and I guess we could chalk that up to the community being passionate and really caring about the game and wanting to see what's best for the game. That's what we could say. Let me know about your sentiment about the game. How are you feeling about Diablo Immortal right now? And when you do, let me know if you're a new player or what spend status you are inside of the game.